Let's take a look at an example of setup sheets. Here is the top view and the front view of the setup. Now let's take a look how we can use the information from MasterCAM to create this setup sheets. Here is the MasterCAM program. In here you can see this is the X0 and Y0. Therefore, in your setup sheet, you must indicate the X0 and Y0 in the center of this parts. If you put the X0 and Y0 in this corner, what is going to happen is that all the two paths is going to happen around this corner. This means you will cut into the vise and you're not going to get what you want for this parts. Therefore, it's important to indicate the X0 and Y0 and match the X0 and Y0 to match the program. Now let's take a look at the front view. In here, this line, this means this is the Z0. In here, the reason I have the Z0 0.01 below the top surface because all the stock come from the supplier, they are not necessarily perfectly flat. So we want to leave some room for the in the program so that you can machine this layer so that the top surfaces can be machined. So therefore I leave the 0.01, 10,000, some you can do 20 or 30 depending on the condition of the surface. So by having 0.01 you can ensure this surface can be machined. Now I want to make sure this is about 0.1 inch. I can hold this in 0.1 inch. Now and you look at the drawing. It looks something like this in 3D. So if I hold this part in here on the vise, this means that by looking at this two path, the cutting tool will come down to this area. If I have the vise on this, holding this part like this, the cutter will cut into the vise. And this is not what you want to do because you don't want to cut into the vise. And the right way is to have the extra material in the bottom, and which will make something like this. And by doing that, this 0.1 inch can be an extra material in the bottom. So now you hold this area and you can do all the machining on the top without worrying about the cutter will cut into the vise. And then after that, you just have to machine this layer out in the secondary operation. So it is important to have all this information matching the program. So the XY0 is important. You have to match this with your program. The Z0, you have to consider the quality of the stock. Sometimes it's 10,000, 20,000. And it also is important to let the machinists know how you hold the parts. Because any of these mistakes that you make, you will run into the problem. The tool will break, will cut into the parts, will cut into the vise, and you are not going to get the results that you want. So it is important to keep all this information in order to get a right program, right setup.